Welcome to Attican Plays Railroad Corporation. All right, hi, this is Attican and welcome to Railroad Corporation, Series 3, Episode 9, also known as Mission 11. And this is a good one. This one is tough. This is tricky. It's a little different. So we're going to get into that in just a minute, but we got 4,900 experience points to spend. We had 200 left over, and we earned 4,700 in the last mission. That was pretty awesome. So we're going to improve our character. We're going to keep with our strategy of doing all the finance, then doing the geology. So we're going to make cheaper bridges, definitely. We're going to have cheaper tunnels. So we've got pretty good setup there. And we still have 1,350 points left. We can get into engineering or recruiting. Now, considering that I forget to hire employees half the time, let's go over here. Well, I have to confess I forget to research half the time too, but okay. There's no fixing bad play, is there? All right, so we'll get a little discount on our research. So our character now is upkeep of locomotives and buildings minus 30%. Locomotives cheaper by 12%. Track laying is 15% off. Soil works 15% off. That's actually the big cost when laying track in this game. Passenger transport up 20%, mail delivery up 22%, bridge buildings down 40%, tunnels are down 50%. We need to look for an opportunity to build a tunnel, although I tend to not build very many. And research is down 3%, which doesn't sound that great, but anyway. All right, let's see what we've got here. Okay, in this one, our sponsor here has purchased some land. He wanted to breed cattle, and he got ripped off. This guy, Dallas Burns, is a sleaze bag, and he sold this guy some dry. Well, this guy was stupid too, but he sold this guy some dry land that isn't suitable for cattle, and he needs to get water in there, and he needs to get grain in there. And anyway, here's what he wants us to do. Start making some money, and what we're going to have to do is transport water, transport grain, and then sell off the meat and leather that comes out of the farms. So let's see what that means. All right, so we go here, and now this one I'm going to take some time up front here. We're going to sit on pause. I know some of you go nuts when I pause the game, but just get over it. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to really take a look at the map, because as I said, this one's tricky and there's a lot of ways you can fail. And so we want to find a way to succeed. So let's look at what we have. We start right here. Here's Mr. Eagle's ranch. And we've got our immediate task is to gather water to bring to that ranch. And in this mission, you have to keep tabs on this. Where is the water? Right now, there's 60 water in Sherman, and that will diminish over time. There's 50 water in Shreveport, and that will diminish over time. And we have to buy that water, and we don't get paid for bringing it back. So that's just a sunk expense, and we have a time limit. And 400 days in this game goes by pretty fast, especially on fast forward. So what are we going to do? Now, we've got... Let's look at our cities. Can we do one of our big sweetheart passenger lines? Kinda, sorta. We've got Waco nearby. It's a little level 7. We've got up above it, we've got Dallas, which is another level 7. Up here, we have Wichita Falls, which is a level 5, but we'd also notice a couple of things that we want to take note of here. It has a steel mill, and there's coal, iron all around it. So money could be made doing that, but we have to get up there. Plus, if we end up with all the steel or backs it out, we can sell the steel to a tool factory here, and we even go down here. There's one in Austin, a tool factory that we could sell the steel. So that would be a good way to go. In fact, that's hint, that's the way we were going, sort of. So big cities, though, we were looking for. San Antonio is the biggest one we got. It's an 18. So that's a good one. And nearby is this little city of level 5, New Braunfels. And our buddy, our enemy here, is down in San Antonio. And we go over here to the east a bit. We've got on the coast, we've got Galveston, Texas, which is also an 18. Lovely. And we've got Houston, Texas, which is a size 12. Oh, and it has a steel mill too. I hadn't even thought about that one. And we've got some mail here and here. We've got mail in San Antonio. Do we have any up in our home base? No, the towns up where we are too small. Now, if we go over, let's just round this out. Let's go over and look at the rest of it. What do we got? Anything interesting? Well, we got Shreveport over here, which is a size 7 city, and it's got some water. So what are we going to do? The closest water we can get is Sherman, so we definitely, I think, need to attack Sherman and try to get over there to hook up to run water over to this ranch. But we need an economy first, and buying water and selling it for nothing is not the way to start it. So first thing we want to do is open up a finance department. Then we are going to run a line up here to Graham to hook into this iron ore. Then we're going to continue that line right on up into Wichita Falls. And that wasn't too bad. We only spent about 60 grand doing that, a little less. So now we can go issue our bond. And this one's a nice one because because those cattle ranches are kind of considered part of us. We can open a bigger bond than usual. Nice, we need it. And we're going to run our new bogey that we did all that research on last time to get it all fully upgraded. And we're going to set a speed limit of 60. When I say speed limit, I mean when you load it up, I want the max speed to be no lower than 60. See, if I go down there to 48, that's too slow. So we're going to run 60. That gives us 7 ore that we can pick up and take up here to Wichita Falls. Now the bad thing is we're going to pay $1,600 a pop for that, but the good thing is we're going to sell them for $52.80 a pop, so that's going to give us a pretty good revenue stream. And I'm going to set maintenance right away up here in Wichita Falls. One upgrade, put in repairs. I don't like to wait on the maintenance because if you do wait, by the time you finally get around to doing it, there's this huge delay while you wait on it to get ready. All right, so that's all going, and we know that we need to get up here to Sherman. And I'm just going to do something I don't typically do. But we really have to be careful in this mission. We have to really manage the money perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but very, very well. Okay, so I'm going to what I'm doing here is this is just an experiment. I'm going to run up here and run straight to Sherman and see what it's going to cost us, but I'm not necessarily going to build it. I hate to do that because it's a lot of work. 40 grand, so 40 grand, but that 40 grand isn't going to do us a lick of good without a train. But so 40 and 90 is like 130 if we want to run our big boy. And we do. All right, so let's let this go and let's see if we can make some money on it. So see, we're having to buy the ore. So we're paying $1,600 a pop for it. Got a little delay because the ore hasn't produced fast enough yet. So here we go. There's 7 boxcars of ore. Well, they're not boxcars. What would they be? Cars. Forget what you call them. But there we go. Made some good money on that run. We got 75,000. Now we're going to take a look at. Actually, what we're going to do is follow our usual procedure. We're going to keep making that profit until we can close that bond and open a bigger one. Then we're going to do an investment. Now we've cut into the price on that ore a little bit. It's not paying full dollar right now. We can change that. By running another line to some coal. We'll take the one on this side of the river so we don't have to build a bridge. Okay, so now, where's our train? Can go ahead and do that, but now we're going to add a station. Get a matching amount of coal. Whoops. And unload that at the steel mill. Okay, now that will allow the steel production to start, and when that starts, then this will start getting used up, and the price for it will go back up. I mean, we could even skip this run because we've got that going, but I'm not going to. We're already down there. All right, so here we go. And what do we got here? Sell still higher. Now, we don't want you to do that, but I honestly don't care either. And notice we're getting nowhere on our goal. We've gathered no water so far. So now we're buying coal. The good news too, now that we're going to coal run and the iron, it gives this mine time to get its stock back up. In other words, to mine some more ore, and that way our train won't have any weights when it's down there. So now you can see the steel's producing, and this iron ore will diminish over time. We really probably could have run another coal, would have been smart right there. But actually, there's something else more important than that I want. How much have we spent? 60? You know what? We're going to leave that track intact, I think. We'll just, yeah, we're just going to run a separate line altogether. Was going to hook into it and save money, but I don't think so. I think I want to go right up here like this. That's 76,000. Yeah. Unreachable roads. What does that mean? I don't. What's unreachable about it? I'm sorry. Forgive me. No, that should be okay. We should be able to build off of our... Oh, no. We can't build off of that because we haven't established a connection to that yet. We can't build off of our competitor because we haven't really touched our competitor yet. Let's fix that. I didn't say that very well. Basically, we were not connected to his line in any place, so I couldn't just build that track that was just dangling out there without having a connection back to our train network. For one thing, if I did, wouldn't be able to put any trains on it. Where do I want to go? I want to go... Yeah, let's go down here. $47,000. Now, I think we'll just leave it at that for now because I'm going to switch I don't want to go through this station, but for right now we will. So T1 is going to get a new job. He did just fine. And what we want to do is run down to San Antonio and pick up 13 passengers at a speed of 59. We'll cut him a little slack and let him run 1 mile per hour below our speed limit. And then we want him to go up here. Run optionally out of Wichita Falls. And get service. And Wichita Falls, Wichita Falls will have at least 5 passengers for us ready to go. So now he's just going to fly down there to San Antonio. Hitting around 80 miles an hour. And he should have no trouble. No, he won't. He'll have a full train coming back. And that train will make a lot of money. And in fact, to speed him up, we don't want him to have the option to go through here. Okay, go. Okay, $10,606 a pop times 13. There we go. Now we've got a little bit of money. We're going to close our bond, issue a bigger bond, and then we're going to build our line and get our water started with a good train. Where are we? Where's our home? Here's our home. We need to get to Sherman. Yeah, I think we're going to save ourselves some money here to start, and we'll probably change this later. Let's go out of here. $35,000 instead of $50,000, and we've got plenty of money left to get a train started. And what our train can do is make a little money on the way. And when this one gets down there and makes us another 50,000, we're going to start a second train to haul that water. And here's the, God bless it. Here's why you don't do merges in this game. See this train right here, which by the way disappears when I scroll down. Please fix that. But this train is actually waiting right here for this train that is all the way down here to get through. Now that delay could actually could cost us the ability to hit the objective, and that's just ridiculous for that train to wait. The train it's waiting on is hundreds of miles away. And I don't have, I wanted to build that road there anyway, the train track there. Let's see. If I get 50 grand, yes, it's occupied by another train. Let's do it the other way. There, now we've got a dedicated line for the passengers, which I eventually wanted to get to anyway. I've just had to do it a lot sooner than I liked. And hopefully we're not going to go bankrupt in the meantime. And pause. T2. Is going to skip the loading of ore. We can't afford it right now. Of course, now we can. We'll redeem that bond. We're going to try to get to cash only as quickly as we can. This one's very tricky and it's very easy to goof it up. So we've got a couple of trains pulling water from Sherman. And not even Sherman does not have enough water for us to pull, so we need to get to Dallas. Well, there's an easy way to get to Dallas. We almost went bankrupt right there. Got fired. Real close. Oh, our bond. Well, no, we didn't have a bond. All right, let me punch in here and open a bigger bond. Keep this thing moving. All right, so we've got Dallas. Let's set up some things so we can make some money and move some water and stay on top of this thing. we're going to buy that plot of land in Dallas if our buddy doesn't overbid us too much. I'll take it. We're buying that plot of land. We don't care what he does. Okay. And going to do something a little different. We're going to put a warehouse there. And we're going to get us a train that goes to this warehouse. And buys water and stores it in the warehouse, because the water that you get from these towns diminishes over time. It drops off, but there's 38 there, and if we just buy them all, we can put them in a warehouse and they'll just sit there. See, here we bought them. There they go into the warehouse. So we should be able to store the water in barrels in the warehouse. We're negative again. Got a big train full of people right up here to make us whole. We're going negative because I'm buying water so fast. That's what's going on. I'm buying as fast as that train can load and unload. But we can fix that right here. Having a sweetheart line is lovely. All right, water's coming. Okay, Sherman is out of water. Okay, pause. All right, our T3 was picking up in Sherman. So now we're going to change him around. He's going to go to our warehouse, pick up water, and take it to our farm, our cattle ranches. And T2 needs to do the same thing. No. Whoops. I want you to load from the warehouse. So the plan is we're just going to keep running water into this Dallas warehouse, and then keep a train or two running water back over to our home base from it. And I think let's make this, give us more space for the water. And I don't know why this guy won't. There's a couple of flaws with the system. They need to look at this. I hope a developer can actually watch this video right here to see what's going on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip this. And we need to find our next source of water. Shreveport Waco has 50. Good deal. So we're going to take our train that's been loading up like this, and it's going to go to Waco. And next stop should be Dallas. Go. Okay, that did the water task. Okay, so now what do we have to do? We have to get grain and take it over there, and we have to keep the water up. We can't let that water get down to zero. And that's one of the reasons we're going to have this warehouse and just go get water from wherever it's available, keep it in this warehouse, so we've always got a supply of water fairly close by. I would love to have it here, but there's no land available. Even better would have it here, but there's no land available. So what do we got going on here? Do we have, okay. We're okay on the money for the time being. Now what we need is another money maker to support all this. We've got this line right here is paying the bills for us. T1 is paying the bills with that line from San Antonio. So let's get another one of those. Let's do Waco to Galveston. That's another big city. Well, I don't start clicking too much, but we'll just use them all. Okay, we're going to go Waco to Galveston, which means we want to go right down through here to there. Okay. And I think we're going to repurpose this train to start making some money. We have optional from the small town side. And mandatory from the big town side, which will be no issue. That train will be full coming back all the time. It won't make that 10,000 because it's it's not as long a line as Wichita Falls, but it'll make very good money. And I'm going to slow down this purchase for just a moment. We've got 25 water in there, and we've got full water here. So we got to get to the grain, of course, but we need some money, and here comes a whole bunch of money. All right, on cue. And we can go back to this business. We've got a great setup already set up here for steel. We just need to get some coal in there. Okay, no water in Shreveport. Don't care about that one. We're buying water from Waco, we're going to. There's water in Houston we can buy as well. We don't have to go crazy about this either. This is just a fallback safety valve, really. All right, T12 or T2 rather has a nice load going down to Galveston. Here comes our big bunny in Wichita Falls. Let's let this run a little bit so I don't goof up and get killed by that pond. Okay, 6,800 a pop, Waco to Galveston. That's fine. 6,800 times 13 is a nice bit of change. And we can wake this one back up now that we have some money. He's raising grain prices. Great. Okay, that's just going to make it a little harder because we got to go buy grain. That's the next thing. And I should be doing that, yeah, pretty soon, like right away. We can get grain up here in Tishomingo, or we can go to Tyler, or we can go to both. We're hooked into this one, so we're going to go up here, I think. And we're not allowed to own the grain farms, unfortunately. Now, we don't want to strip those. There's no reason to run these people on that short run over to Dallas. It's just taking them away from the longer run to Galveston. It's just not worth it. Now the wheat isn't going to dry up on us. We don't have to worry about it. So we can just, run out here, buy the wheat at an exorbitant price and take it back to Corn Trail and fulfill our obligation. Our water is in great shape. In fact, T3 just now finally was able to drop his last one off. And we've got 39 in the warehouse waiting on him. And we will keep buying from Waco until it's dry, then we'll go buy probably down in Houston. And now that we have a water delivery and we've got the start of a grain delivery, I might want to bump up that grain delivery a little bit, but I want to go cash first, or cash only first. And that's going to be easy to do once this train unloads right here. Okay, we're going to be I'm going to try to be cash only from now on. So basically take the risk out of it, the risk of mismanaging my funds and going minus 50,000 without even realizing it. Especially, when you're buying expensive wheat and you're buying water, it'd be very easy to mess up. Okay, unloading. We must have a full. Yeah, we've got 50 barrels of water in Dallas. We're in good shape on the water. We may not even have to buy anymore. We may just leave that 50 in there as a safety valve. No, we've got 0 in there. I'm sorry. How did that happen? Interesting. All right. So this is broken. Mr. Developer, please, I want you to take note of this. I've got a train assigned to unload into a warehouse. I've got another train assigned to load from that warehouse. Because they're in there at the same time, watch, neither one of them is doing anything. The one that's unloading won't go. I'm going to have him skip back to Dallas. This guy will not unload. He's got 3 barrels he could be putting into that warehouse. And he won't do it. So the warehouse idea is going to have to go away only because, well, it's got to be a defect. It's got to be wrong. All right, T4, I want you to forget about Dallas. Go to Corn Trail. And unload your water. And then T3, instead of trying to get water from Dallas, we'll go down to Houston and buy their water. Are we connected to Houston? If we were connected to Houston, we would go down to Houston. You know what? I would rather not have that intersection. I would rather have them go all the way to Galveston and go through that station than to have that intersection. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. And we could set up a Houston to Dallas line and have another little sweetheart line. It's a size 12, and I'm sure we could get some pretty good business out of it. And we could run it as full loads of 13 without a whole lot of weight. Give it a dedicated line. And have nice passenger trains running back to Dallas from Houston. Now look at this. T3 is going to Houston. And look where he's going. He went up there to turn around. Okay, that was a little weird. Here's our Waco train coming in with a whole bunch of people. All right, we're looking pretty good now. All right. Now Waco has no more water. Where can we get water? To Chimango, and we already have a line up there, so good deal. We've almost finished our grain contract. Our grain requirement. Here, this T5 will be bringing grain in. Here comes our grain, I believe. Yep. All right, so we're going to stop right here with this episode. We just finished our grain delivery. We're now headed into a new stage, so we'll talk about that and finish off this episode in part 2. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Railroad Corporation video. Thank you.